Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa assures Nigerians that military is committed to addressing recent surge in insecurity. Spanish prosecutors charge separatist leader Simeon Ekpa with inciting terrorism online. NAFON announces expansion of its loan program to some vocational skills centers across the country. On the foreign scene, Ukraine and Russia agreed to swap 1,000 prisoners of war each after first face-to-face talks in 3 years. Good evening. This is news at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Olufemi Alagbe. The Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa on Friday assured Nigerians that the military is committed to addressing the recent surge in insecurity. They disclosed that President Bola Tinubu has approved the acquisition of additional air assets to strengthen the fight against insurgency. General Musa made this known while briefing the State House correspondents immediately after a closed-door meeting with President Bola Tinubu defense chiefs at the Aso Rock Villa. He stated that additional equipment has already been procured to strengthen the fight against terrorists who have intensified their attacks in recent months, particularly in the northern region of the country.
I think our meeting today is for us to review the entire security situation in the country. The president is concerned about what's going on, and we have reassured him that we're on top of our game. We're working extremely very hard. What has happened of recent is that there's a global push by terrorists and jihadists all over the Sahel area, and that pressure is what actually came into Nigeria because of the nature of our borders. And so we have, Mr. President has given directives as to what to do next for us to intensify all efforts, collaborate with all our sister countries around, because it is the porous nature that is coming there that is actually aggravating our own issues on ground. And so all our theaters have been enhanced, equipments have been bought. Mr. President has also given us much approvals for air assets and other aspects of security. And like we said, it's not only the kinetic effort, the non-kinetic aspects that is most important. The President is also looking at the aspects of also discussing with the governors for their own support, buy-in in ensuring that dividends of democracy also extends to the communities to be able to stamp down the issue of insecurity. And we're working together. You can see we're together with the National Security Advisor, the NSA, the DGDSS, and all other ones. So we are working together as a team. And you can see us here, members of the armed forces, working in unity, including the police, to make sure that Nigeria is peaceful. And that is our mandate, and that we work towards. We want to appeal to all Nigerians not to get tired. And they should be wary of fake news. There's a lot of fake news that has been spread out, making it look, most of the videos being circulated are videos from other countries or old videos, making it look as if it is soon. And you know, you always want to wonder, why do some individuals feel happy when things go bad in their country? If Nigeria is destroyed, all of us will go down. And so it is important that we all cooperate with members of the armed forces and security agencies. If we see something that is going wrong anywhere in the country, let us report. Action will be taken, including our own personnel. If we see them doing what is not supposed to be done, they should take a report and we'll take action. We want to thank all Nigerians for the support. Not long ago, we went to the Northeast together with the ministers. The Chief of Defense and other services have gone. Yesterday, I just came back from Maiduguri to show you that we're working together with all the governors, because we know we cannot do it alone. We need also the governors to be part of it. The federal government is doing so much. States need to come in, local governments and communities. Everyone has a role to play in ensuring that there's peace in Nigeria, and that's what we try to push, and that's what we're doing. And we're happy that Nigerians are warming up to it. Disregarding all those ones, there are naysayers, those ones that don't mean us well. We're shaming them, because we're going to continue to succeed.
In a similar development, President Bola Tinubu has asked the Nigerian armed forces to intensify efforts to tackle the country's multifaceted security challenges. The president stresses that the stability of Nigeria's democracy, regional peace, and economic growth is closely tied to national security. Represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, Tinubu made the call on Friday at the induction ceremony of 2 newly acquired Agusta 109 tracker helicopters held at a part of events marking the 61st anniversary of the Nigerian Air Force. Tinubu also reiterated his administration's commitment to investing in the modernization of the military. He also urged the military to be prepared to address security concerns beyond Nigeria's borders through participation in peacekeeping missions. Troops of the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army Sector 3 Operation Well Struck, in collaboration with troops of Operation Safe Haven, have neutralized 2 bandits and recovered about 1,000 cattle in Taraba, in the neighboring Plateau State, according to a press statement issued by the Acting Assistant Director, Army Public Relations, 6th Brigade, Captain Olubodunde Oni. During the encounter, troops neutralized 2 of the bandits and successfully recovered about 1,000 rustled cattle. Acting on credible intelligence, troops responded swiftly to a report of armed bandits mounted on approximately 30 motorcycles who had crossed from a Plateau State into Taraba State. The criminal element launched a cattle rustling operation targeting a Fulani settlement near Jemjem village in Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The operation, code-named Operation Lafia Jama, is built to reinforce the fight against criminality in Taraba and neighboring states to ensure safety for all residents. In Plateau State, troops of Operation Safe Haven have neutralized 2 suspected bandits in Nemalidu community, Gimbi district of West local government area. Media officer of Operation Safe Haven, Major Simeon Zankoma, disclosed these in a statement on Friday in Jos. Zankoma said the suspects were neutralized following a tip-off on the activities of bandits in the community. He explains that the troops also recovered a firearm during the operations. The media officer, who called for the support of Plateau residents, said Operation Safe Haven is committed to riding out all criminal elements from the state. Still talking security, the police commander in Niger State says it has arrested 3 suspects who posed as Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC operatives, abducted and robbed students of Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, Lafia. A statement by the command spokesperson Wasiu Abiodun on Friday in Mina indicated that 2 informants who aided the operation were also arrested. Abiodun said the police received information at about 8 p.m. on May 13 that 4 of suspected stormed students off-campus lodge and allegedly abducted 2 students under the pretense of being EFCC operatives. Abiodun explains that the police operatives attached to Lafia Division immediately mobilized and trailed the vehicle to Suleja Road by Kwakuti, where the suspects were arrested. According to him, the suspect had requested the sum of 10 million naira from the students and later negotiated to 500,000 naira before they were arrested. In the meantime, the Finnish prosecutors have said Nigeria separatist leader Simeon Ekpa has been charged with inciting terrorism online. Finland's National Prosecution Authority said in a statement on Friday that he had charged a Finnish individual in a case involving suspected public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent and participation in the activities of a terrorist group. It added that the alleged crime had been committed in the city of Lahti between 2021 and 2024 and were related to the suspect's efforts to establish Nigeria's Biafra region as an independent state. The prosecution authority did not name the accused, but Finnish public broadcaster Yle identified him as separatist leader Simeon Ekpa. According to the prosecution authority, the accused remained in custody and denied the charges. The Ghana State Police Command has launched a community security initiative to tackle the rising case of kidnapping in Shanono and Tansayawa local government areas, which border Kaduna State. This was contained in a statement on Friday by the State Police Public Relations Officer, SP Abdullahi Kiyawa. The move followed a stakeholder security meeting held on Wednesday in Faruruwa village, Shanono local government area, convened by the Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Bakori, in line with directives from the Inspector General of Police, Kade Egbetokun. The aim was to promote dialogue, share insight into the local security landscape, and devise actionable strategies to safeguard residents from criminal elements, particularly kidnappers who exploit the porous borders with neighboring Kaduna. Away from security, the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, has announced that tertiary institutions with fewer than 2,000 students will no longer be eligible for funding from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. Speaking on Friday at the one-day engagement with heads of institution bosses and procurement directors in Lagos, Alausa said the federal government was repositioning the funding framework to ensure public resources are used efficiently. He noted that inefficiency of allocating equal resources to underpopulated schools as those with significantly higher student number. Alausa said the engagement with institutions from the Southern Zone was aimed at reviewing the 2024-2025 intervention guidelines and fostering transparency. He also raised concerns about the unchecked proliferation of satellite campuses, calling unsustainable and counterproductive. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, NELFund, has announced the expansion of its loan program to some vocational skills centers across the country. The Executive Director of Operations at NELFund, Iyal Mustafa, stated this during a sensitization campaign in Enugu on Friday. The sensitization tour includes visit by the NELFund management to the Institute of Management and Technology, Enugu College of Education Technical School, and the MSME Clinics Fashion and Garment Hub in Enugu. Mustafa said NELFund aims to support vocational training through loans, helping individuals access technical education at various skill centers, including fashion design and other trades. He also noted that NELFund has expanded the initiative to over 10 states, with Enugu being a standout. Now to politics. The caretaker committee chairperson of the Labour Party, Nanandi Usman, has dared Julius Abure over his threat to expose Peter Obi, Alex Oti, and other high-ranking members of a faction. Abure, factional Labour Party national chairman, had on Monday challenged Obi and Oti to name their party members who allegedly received funds for the 2023 election. But in an interview today, Usman dismissed Abure's threats and challenged him to bring forward any evidence he claims to have. She said the Labour Party has records of Abure's conduct and that some of his actions are already the subject of police investigations. The former finance minister also described the current crisis in the Labour Party as an attack on internal democracy. Usman maintains that Abure's tenure as a Labour Party national chairman had elapsed and that the party had moved to resolve the leadership vacuum in line with the directive of the Independent and National Electoral Commission. A professor of political economy, Pat Utame, says some sympathizers are offering to put together 500 lawyers to defend him against the Department of State Services, DSS. Utame's comment followed the legal action initiated against him by the DSS. On May 5, Utame launched the Big Tent Coalition Shadow Government, a platform aimed at serving as a credible opposition to the President Bola Tinubu administration. The shadow government is a structure established by opposition groups to act as a check on the official government, critiquing policies and providing alternative solutions. Utame described the initiative as a national emergency response to the policies of the federal government. The shadow cabinet is composed of various professionals and public figures, including Dele Farotimi, the human rights advocate who oversees the ombudsman and good governance portfolio. Meanwhile, the federal government and the All Progressives Congress (APC) criticized the initiative. But in a post on X, his X page on Friday, Utomi said he's been galvanized by a show of support from across Nigeria. Former lawyer and public affairs analyst Moses Obadita has blamed the decline in the number of voters in Nigeria to poor socio-economic standards of the state. While speaking on Friday's edition of Western Spring Television's Morning Spring, Obadita argued that the voter apathy recorded in Nigeria's democracy will not be fixed until issues like corruption and rigging are dealt with. Meanwhile, Bukola Idowu of Impact Development Initiative berated the National Assembly, claiming that the people who do not vote are expressing the choice of not visiting the polling unit. The Impact Development Initiative director, however, called for an electoral reform to overhaul the whole system. This argument comes on the heels of a bill which has passed the second reading at the House of Representatives to make voting for all citizens above 18 compulsory.
Yeah, you're right. It's a civil duty, which is voluntary. It would be wrong for what you are supposed to do voluntarily to be made compulsory. And what I would term the bill to, or the sponsor, is a misplaced of priority. First of all, they need to know of the National Assembly or the sponsor of that bill ought to find out why is it that people are not voting. And what can we do so that as to encourage voting? Those people have been the beautiful, but to now made it compulsory because it was done in Australia. The story you are referring to in Australia happened in I think it's in 1924 when it was done, and it was based on some reason. Most of the basic needs of the Australians were provided. The situation there was okay, but there were some people, either for one reason or the other, for stubborn reason. The only point is that if you have no reason, you have to give reason why you didn't come out to vote. Duties of every government to see to the security of lives and property, and then the welfare of the people. That should have been the reason. Somebody who has not eaten, somebody that has no job, you expect to go and be on the sun and come and vote for you. Not only that, somebody whose house has been looted, they have been burned for no just reason. Somebody came overnight, killed a whole family. And then you expect that man to now come from his camp, IDP camp, and come and vote.
Now, what do we need to do? We need to look at the reason why people are not voting. Going to the polling units, why people are abandoning the process, and why people are saying, hey, what you are doing, and because not voting you are communicating that, look, I am not interested in this process. And what they need to do is to find out exactly what is going on. Seconds. Number one, you can't talk about compulsory voting if you have not reformed your law. Who appoints INEC, chairman, and the rec? Are they political office holder? If you have not settled that, you cannot talk about compulsory voting. Then number two, you cannot talk about compulsory voting if you have not solved the voting infrastructure within the country. Because when you have more people coming to vote, vote buying will be difficult because you are not likely going to buy. You can't buy the entire. Ask you a question. If 125 million people that are above 18 are coming out to vote, how many people do you want to buy? Do you have that budget? Can Nigeria himself even say 125 million people, we want to share 5,000 to them? Do you know how much that costs? So these people talking about compulsory voting, and they don't even have laws in place. We don't even have infrastructure in place. We don't even have, we have not even perfect direct primaries. We have not even perfect diaspora voting. We have not even perfected what we call early voting. We are not talking about compulsory voting. But if you ask me, what they should do is this. They should come up with an incentive. that if you vote, there are incentives you will enjoy.
Legitimately.
You're watching News at 7 on Western Spring Television. Still to come. Ministry of Interior announces launch of new online citizenship and business management platform. We'll bring you more on this when we return. Stay with us.